Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing this man, and based on the angle the police is coming through, is the state of mind. They are talking about the state of mind. They believe that this man doesn't know what he's doing. Many, because going by the messages he sent out, he's saying like, one Niger, we can't do comedy because we no help her. This is what we can do. She's a model. Help to promote her. And that message said, we have come a long way. Please stop reporting this page. Thank you all. She'll be happy when she grows up to know many people love her in the world. Oh, wow. That's my plan for her as a father. So in his own head, I'm giving you a platform to express yourself because I know you like this person. So we're trying to build your career, make you popular and known. And when you're a certain age, you can now live that life.
Because he's a madman, first of all. But we Nigerians too are mad people. That page has close to 9,000 followers. Who are the people following? Who are the people who are comfortable coming online, seeing a young child almost naked and doing some terrible things that you will not pray for your enemy's child to do, and you like, and you are following? Who are the people? We need to talk to ourselves, because we're the ones enabling all this nonsense. Once it doesn't affect us, for those people who even have small sense, and we are able to protect our own, every other person, Nagarawa, once it's not my child, I don't care. You go there, you like the pictures, you make comments there, and the page is growing. 9,000 human beings following that child.
It could be Nigerians,
following that naked. They're Nigerians. They're Nigerians. How do they find it?
And this Chinchon-Chin,
She's not in Chinchon-Chin. She's not there.
The point I'm trying to make is that
here.
people like for the market for things like this is out there.
International.
It's international. This child pornography thing is mostly international.
It's international. We have pedophiles here.
Absolutely. No, I'm just saying that the market for it, even the same way we have a gay community here, but they're not really out there. We know they exist.
I see plenty yesterday.
We know they exist. So the same thing. So there are pedophiles. There are pedophiles across the world. And now in this country, so the point I'm just trying to tell you that don't assume that the 9,000 are Nigerians. That is a good mix of foreigners.
So I want to assume that the 9,000 are Nigerians. You know why? Because we pretend a lot. So we have one public face, and we have a private face, and we have a secret face. And most of the people that he's marketing this child to are Nigerians. Most of them are his friends. Most of them are his neighbors. So let's not deceive ourselves that Yoruba people that are following that child. The way that child is looking, no Yoruba person is following them.
Let me take Elvis. Good morning, Elvis. I'll come to you. Hello, Elvis. You're live.
Wicked people.
Good morning.
Good morning. Go ahead, please.
Yes, I feel even that person at the studio that took that picture is supposed to be arrested.
He's the photographer. The father is the photographer.
Oh, he's a photographer.
Yeah, he's a photographer.
So, which means he knows what he's doing. He's not as if he has a mental issue. He knows what he's doing. So, and all those things. When I went further to check for the pictures on IG, Twitter, I realized that there are some pictures that even the girl was in an hotel room with him and his friends, and they were smoking. So it's really bad. I think they need to do something about that child, and they should take that child away from him.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
That's the point I wanted to make too. The gravity of what he has done. We have not seized the opportunity as a learning curve to stop, to deter other people from considering it. Our Child Rights Act prevents anybody from using, that's an abuse of a child, in any form that exposes them to harm, exploitation. This guy just exploited this child. To say that, you're grooming, you're putting out there, you're building a page and numbers, we know it's commercial. And it's illegal in our country. Not be saying it's even forbidden. It's even forbidden in the words of God. It is not something that we should treat with the kind of levity of talking about a counseling session. If he was a photographer and couldn't find an adult muse to snap, there's a problem when you turn to a toddler and you put her in this kind of exploitative. Where is our, what's it called, nap tip? Where are they on this issue? I said nap tip should take it up.
This issue? Those states must have a
central agency.
They do. So nobody should say the commissioner for police should handle it with kid gloves. This man should be made a scapegoat, because we know parents. Now, a caller made a point. I just need to emphasize that point. Because I remember back in 100 level, we're doing our induction into what they call matriculation. And somebody jokingly said to me, I am from that state. All of you girls are Sherwood there.
You know, we know the past, we know the history, and we know how hard everybody of note, of influence, worked to change that narrative in the state. We cannot allow one let me not use the word.
Let me take a call.
To start it again.
Let me take this call. Ade is calling from London.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. You're live.
Good morning, ladies.
Morning.
Yes, my fear is this. This is bad, and this is very sad. But have you ever sat down and thought about it that in about 15 years' time, there will be many youth in Nigeria, they will not know where they come from. They will not know where their parents come from because they are a product of baby factory all over Nigeria. What do you think about those kids when they grow up in another 15, 20 years? They don't know their father, they don't know their mother, and they will not know. You can think of the worst scenario that will happen, even more than this. So those who father those children, or who adopt them or whatever, you can imagine what they will do with them. So this is very sad, and you must follow this to the last, please.
Okay.
God bless you.
It's not every parent is of sound mind to raise the child. Yes. So society needs to be able to step up. Community needs to step up. The idea of "it's not my business" should no longer happen. And even if society and people cannot step up, there must be a platform for us to report. There are orphanages. There are orphanages that can take up this child and help this child through that journey. I know that even the Port Harcourt I went to, the church has an orphanage. The Akure I went to, Reverend Funke has an orphanage. My own church pastor, they have an orphanage. We have some of these organizations because Nigeria is a self-help country. All of us are helping ourselves on this journey. While we are waiting for governments to be able to solve the bigger problems, we are using small ways to solve it, but we cannot solve it selfishly. We must become more selfless. You cannot say it's not my child or it's not my responsibility. I don't know the person. Everybody must get involved one way or the other. Until we take up that responsibility, then we can clean up our society. Because if you don't raise, your own child that you raise well will not be polluted by the one that was not raised well. So everybody must be involved.
Let me now link this story to our other topic concerning the NDLEA death sentence. Because I know that earlier, this last Thursday, the Senate had wanted to, they approved the death penalty as punishment for those involved in the manufacturing manufacturing and processes of dangerous drugs, as well as traffickers of hard drugs in the country. It also approved 15 years imprisonment without the option of fine for those who consume hard drugs, given the havoc being created by substance and drug abuse in Nigeria. Now, I'd like to link that to this because when we talk about children, pedophilia, abuse, and molesting, exploitation of children, some people would try to advocate for death penalty for persons found guilty in this regard. But the Senate here were trying to actually get a sentence for those dealing in hard drugs and involved in drug abuse. In your view, do you think this child's case, this 4-year-old case, is an instance in which death penalty should be considered? Or, as the police, PPRO has said, rather they should rehabilitate the adults in this regard? What do you think? So let's talk about death penalty for a second.
If this child was used by the father to traffic, because this happens, where was the child gains popularity and is now, an influence. The parents, because they're abusers, they're exploiters anyway, they exploited her all the way to the popularity, can use her for, that purpose. If such a thing were to happen, I will not even blink on the death sentence thing. But because where we are now, there's a rehabilitation point, reformation, that's what our prison system is for. That father should be separated from the child and serve term for exploiting abusively that child and putting her in harm's way to abusers. Now, when he comes out, we pray that he is reformed and is reunited with the child. By that time, she's more mature. We will not have the stories where we read every time on Metro News on our human interest stories on how my father abused me since I was a child. That's the point here. The levity of what he has done, or the gravity of what he has done right now, is one that deserves imprisonment.
So let's bring it now to death penalty, because I've always said that we need something drastic in the laws. And some are saying that, no, it's not everything that, that we need those kind of drastic measures. So we're talking about drug abuse in a moment, but let's start with this issue of this girl exploiting a minor in this regard. Do you think it deserves the penalty of death penalty?
No, I don't think it. How many people will you kill? I feel like we
Sorry, I have to pause. Your mic is back. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing this matter. We're going to take a few comments on social media. BC, you have any?
So,
take some.
Yes, let me take. Somebody says, here in Europe, Nigerians always say that to exclude themselves as Nigerians to generalize. They're talking about how our identity stuff. To Nigeria says, ask yourself why they are never called death penalty for senior public, why they have not called for death penalty for senior public officials that steal from Nigeria, that actually result in the loss of lives.
That one can be added.
Omoge Nigeria says, parents need to understand that digital footprint follows one for life in the 21st century. Imagine this child applying for a position in the future and losing it because of the unsavory content posted way back.
Abisola says, thank you, Nima. As a parent, I won't like to put my children all out there. It's a lot of distraction. We don't allow children to be children again. It's so sad. So I wanted to, before we went on a break, to say that, unfortunately, most of these parents do not know better. There's something they say in NLP that we do to the ability that we know, right? You may from your own place, because you're sane and probably you've had a good foundation and you understand some of these things, but another person from their background may not even understand some of these things, especially if you grew up from a home where your parents even used you for themselves. Now you think that's the way parenting is, and you want to use your children for yourself, and it keeps, that generation just keeps going. So what we need to do as a people is to keep educating ourselves, keep talking about it. We should have jingles. I don't know, when I travel, I see a lot of jingles calling out different things in different stations, in different languages, for people to understand that this is prohibited, this is not allowed. Your child is your first, you are the first point of protection for your child, you are the first point of this for your child. We talk about it so that people now begin to understand the long-term implications of what they are doing. A lot of parents do not understand. In their head now, we're living in the moment. It's about just doing this content, getting followers, making money. When that child down the line starts getting depressed, starts missing out in schools and proper life activities, and starts tracing it back to how you treated the child, then you have done what you have done, you have moved on, you're forgetting about it. And unfortunately for our country, we do not allow our children to feel a certain way. We don't allow them to name their emotions. So it's not that small thing. Please go and sit down. Why are you crying? Why are you doing this?
Talking about children, let's link it back again to drug abuse, because it goes back to the same thing. Those vices, kids using these drugs, and parents not being aware, or parents being lackadaisical to how you raise your children. It's okay to expose them to your friends sexually. It's okay to expose them to drug, to weed, to cannabis, or because that's your lifestyle. So who is protecting the child from drug abuse, from sexual exploitation,
and protecting the child from alcohol?